Mom paradise is when both kids are down for a nap and you can enjoy your Moscato in peace. Yes. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Katrina. Today I am sharing 25 facts about me so you all can get to know me more on a personal level. I got these questions off of Women's Health magazine and I thought they were really good starter questions. And honestly, if you want to ever get to know someone, you should throw out some of these questions so you can get to know someone on a better level. So first question, what's your favorite way to spend a weekend? So ever since I became a mom, I am such a homebody. So the perfect weekend for me is just staying home, watching my kids play outside, and seeing my husband grill either burgers or, steak. I think that is honestly like what has become our routine for our weekends. We usually go grocery shopping on Sundays. So that's typically what we do. Every Sunday we either have a steak or hamburgers because, my husband enjoys grilling and my kids just, if they could live outside, they totally would because they love playing outside. So to me, that is definitely a perfect weekend. What type of music are you into? So I guess it would have to depend on the day. I can honestly say I like all kinds of music. Some days I'm listening to, Broadway hits. Other days I'm listening to hip hop, country, pop hits. It honestly depends on my mood. So I can't say, one specific genre. I enjoy all genres. What was the best vacation you ever took and why? Ooh, that's a good one. I would say the best vacation I've ever been on would have to be the summer of 2015. I took an internship in State College, Pennsylvania. I was interning with AccuWeather, and on the weekends I would go explore, nearby cities that were close to State College, Pennsylvania. So I was lucky enough to have my mom with me, and each weekend we discovered a new state or a new city. So in total, gosh, we went to Baltimore, we went to Washington, D.C., we visited Niagara Falls, we went to this amusement park called Knoebels, we went to Philadelphia. So that summer as a whole was honestly one big vacation for me, and to this day is my top favorite because A, I got to spend it with my mom, and B, we got to visit so many unique places. Where's the next place on your travel bucket list and why? Ooh, that's good. I would say if I could choose anywhere, all expenses paid, I would probably go and visit, there's just so many places. Probably Hawaii. I really like tropical stuff, and I've had friends and relatives who've gone to Hawaii, and so I think I would love to visit that state. And I would really like to go to the Dole Plantation and see all the pineapples being harvested and stuff, and go to a luau, a real life luau. That would be pretty neat. What are your hobbies and how did you get into them? So I would say my top two hobbies are bullet journaling and photography. So I got into photography because growing up, my mom was always taking pictures of me. In fact, she herself is a photographer as well. And I remember growing up, I saw a camera, automatically smile. And it wasn't until high school that I realized, I want to start taking pictures too. And it wasn't more so the art of photography, it was more so, I want to, remember all the good times with friends. So it was more about record keeping and memory keeping. So I was always carrying around a camera, always taking pictures. And then in college, that's when I realized, I really want to start owning my craft in photography. So I decided to take a photography class, part of my journalism major. I had to take a few electives, so I took a photography elective, and I absolutely loved it. I learned so much, and even today I'm still taking photos. I've done a few professional gigs. I've been able to take family portraits of friends and stuff, and first birthday cake smashes, so that's always fun. And it's honestly a cool hobby because I get to share it with my mom and stuff. And the other part I said was bullet journaling. So I've always been into planners and stuff, and just browsing around on YouTube, I've realized, wow, like bullet journaling is really cool. So this year I decided to start my own bullet journal, and I actually have a channel that is solely dedicated to bullet journaling and planning out weekly and monthly spreads. So I'll link it up here, and so you all can check it out if you're interested in bullet journaling. And it's just like, it's adult coloring, and like, what's not to love? I love how everyone can get, like, you know, you can have 1,000 different themes, and you can create your journal and planner to work for you. So whatever works for you, you can put it down on paper, and that's what I love about bullet journaling. What was your favorite age growing up? I would say if I had to pick one specific age, I would have to say 17. When I was 17, I was a senior in high school, and honestly, senior year was such a great time. I was involved in a lot of clubs, and I had a lot of great friendships, and I wouldn't relive it necessarily, but I guess, you know, growing up and comparing it to like all my youth years, 17 was by far the best year and the year I had the most fun. What was the last thing you read digitally or in print? So the last thing I read digitally was, I'm in grad school, so I am doing a master's program through Arkansas State University, and I'm in this quantitative thesis methods course. So I've been reading a lot of research articles, and the last research article I read, I don't have the full name off the top of my head, but just to sum it up, it talks about like journalists and how they're using Twitter to engage with their audience, and why they are using Twitter to engage with their audience. And it's like, it's more complex than that, but that's just the overall thing, I guess I could say, that that I like a small summary of what I've read. But lately all my free time is dedicated to reading homework assignments for my research methods course. Would you say you're more of an extrovert or an introvert? Ooh, I would say, I think I would like to say I'm an introvert, but at heart, I'm an extrovert. I'm shy, but I love being around people, if that makes sense. I guess I have to warm up to like people in order to like fully be myself, but I guess, I don't know, that's a good question. I should ask my friends what they think I am. I'm gonna say I am an extrovert though, with like the like shell of an introvert. What's your favorite ice cream topping? So my favorite ice cream topping is definitely whipped cream. I could eat whipped cream by itself in a bowl. Yeah, I smother my ice cream in whipped cream, and that is by far the #1 best ice cream topping. What was the last show you binge watched? So the last show I binge watched, since you know I have all the time in the world, it was Riverdale, and I watched it on Netflix. So I still need to catch up on season 4, but I watched Riverdale on Netflix, and it was pretty good. It's really dark. I've noticed as the season's gone on, like the show is getting darker and darker. And I like it though. I'm gonna give it another go once season 4 is up on Netflix. I hope it like lives up to its hype and stuff. Are you into any podcasts, or do you only listen to music? I've tried listening to podcasts in the past, but I've never found like the one that hooks me. So I always just listen to music. But if you all have a suggestion for a podcast, please leave it in the comment section below. Do you have a favorite holiday? Why or why not? I do have a favorite holiday. So my favorite holiday is Halloween. I love the whole idea of getting dressed up and seeing like houses all decorated. I go all out. When it's Halloween, I put a bunch of decorations up, and I make sure my kids dress up. This past year we didn't dress up because everyone was sick, but in years past we've been cowboys. We were the Incredibles the first year my son was celebrating his first Halloween. And my goal eventually in life is to have like such an outrageous Halloween setup that like it gets featured on social media and goes viral. Every year I buy one Halloween decoration to use for the following year. When Walmart and Michael's and all those places do 50% off, I'm right there in line buying all that half off stuff. So that is why Halloween is my favorite. I just love all things spooky and decorating all things spooky. What's your death row meal? Ooh, it's kind of morbid, but I would say my death row meal, if like I could only have one last meal, it would probably be chimichangas. And not just any chimichangas. It would be chimichangas from Chimichanga restaurant, which is in Tucson, Arizona. It is my favorite restaurant by far. I just love their chimichangas, and every time I go to the restaurant, that's what I order. So that would definitely be my last meal if I was ever on death row. Do you like going to the movies or prefer watching at home? I mean, I think I would say I would prefer going to the movies because when I'm home, I tend to just fall asleep. My husband always gets so frustrated with me when he wants to have a like date night and a movie night at home. I'm like, yeah, let's watch something. And like literally 10 minutes into the movie, I'm knocked out. And it's usually because I'm like exhausted from the work day or, just keeping up with our two kids. But, so that's why I would say going out to the movies is probably what I prefer, because while you're in a movie theater, you're not, like falling asleep. So yeah, that's what I would say for this question. What's your favorite sleeping position? I like to say that I start off sleeping on my side, but I feel like when I wake up, I always wake up on my stomach. So I think my body just naturally goes into its preferred sleeping position of sleeping on its stomach when I am in that deep sleep. What is your go-to guilty pleasure? I would have to say my go-to guilty pleasure, I don't know. I guess in regards to what? So if someone was asking me this, I'd be like, well, what? Like, my guilty pleasure would probably be eating desserts. I am such a big like dessert person, so my go-to guilty pleasure is indulging in desserts. Yeah, well, we're gonna go with a food type guilty pleasure for that one. And if I had to pick a dessert in particular, anything with whipped cream. Like I said, I could eat whipped cream by itself, so I'd probably just go ice cream again. Ice cream or maybe cheesecake. Gosh, no, you know what? Honestly, my favorite dessert ever is probably Costco cake. I love Costco cake. In the summer, would you rather sleep with the window open or blast the AC? Hands down, blast the AC. I don't care if it skyrockets my bill up to $300. I am terrified with what summer brings in regards to bugs. Have you seen those little crane flies flying around lately? Yeah, no, there's no way in heck I would sleep with the window open. Even if there was a screen on it, I still feel that there is slight holes possibly, so yeah, would not sleep with the window open. What's your favorite quote from a TV show, movie, or book? Ooh, that's a good one. Favorite quote from a TV show, movie, or book? Honestly, I don't know. Like off the top of my head, I would have to say anything from The Notebook. So, I mean, I don't know why The Notebook's popping into my head right now, but like if you're a bird, I'm a bird. I know it's really cliche, but I love that movie, and I love the book. Every time I read it, every time I watch the movie, I am bawling by the end of it. So, not necessarily like the quote, if you're a bird, I'm a bird, is probably my favorite, but that is the only one that's popping into my head right now. How old were you when you had your first celebrity crush, and who was it? So my first celebrity crush was Taylor Lautner, And the reason I fell in love with him was due to the movie Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Now, I think I was probably 10 or 11, I don't know. But that's when I saw Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I thought he was the hottest boy ever. And when he was later on in the Twilight series, oh my gosh, you know, I read the books, but I specifically wanted to watch the movies because of Taylor Lautner. What's one thing that can instantly make your day better? Hands down, my kids. I could be having the worst day ever, but as soon as I see my kids and like as soon as they see me, they just run up to me and say, "Mama," and they give me the biggest hug. That can change any bad day and turn it into a good day, because the way they see me truly makes my heart melt. Do you have any pet peeves? I would say my biggest pet peeve is when you're communicating or you're in a group project, or you know, you need to get something completed and no one is like contributing or communicating. So that is my biggest pet peeve. Or if like you send an email and you ask a series of questions and someone doesn't respond to those questions, or they kind of just, you know, ignore some of the questions, that is my biggest pet peeve lately. It used to be tapping, like when you're tapping a pencil, but ever since I've graduated, communication or lack thereof communication is my biggest pet peeve. Which meal is your favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner? I am the type of girl who would have breakfast for dinner if she could. So I would say hands down, my favorite meal is breakfast. I do not discriminate against any type of breakfast meal. I love it all. So breakfast is by far my favorite. What song always gets you out on the dance floor? Ooh, honestly, any like group participation song will probably get me out on the dance floor. But if it's just like a regular song, I would probably say Drop It Low. Drop It Low by, oh, what's her name? Something with an E. Drop it low, girl. Drop it low, girl. So for those of you who know that song is my hype song. That gets me out on a dance floor. When you were a kid, did you eat the crust on your sandwich or not? My mom taught me that you have to eat the crust. So yes, as a child, I was told that I had to eat the crust. So I never cut them off, and that's the same thing I'm doing with my kids. When they eat a sandwich, they eat the entire thing. I do not cut the crusts off for them. What activity instantly calms you? I would say napping. If I'm stressed out, I take a nap. And I will say that does definitely instantly calm me. Alright everyone, so that was 25 facts about me. If you want to know more, I will definitely do one of these videos in the future. So please, in the comment section down below, ask me more questions so I can put them down in my book of notes to answer them for a future video. Please like, share, and subscribe below. I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye! We're going on about an hour where the kids are still asleep, so therefore it's another hour where I can enjoy this glass of wine. Cheers!